The rear delts poking out. God, holy shit, they're really fucking poking out right over the tricep. Very freaking nice. See, that right there is what I'm talking about. I should really have my shoulder like way back here. My my fucking pecs and front delts are so tight. I need to start stretching it a little bit. But that is what I'm freaking talking about. You know, where it's just crawling over top of the tricep. Just kind of like this, you know, two-level type situation. Right? There's the tricep roundness, but then there's this extra, you know, rear delt shit going on as well. You know, I'm not joking. Big rear delts will totally change your look. Even if it's just kind of like subtle. You know, it's something just looks off a little bit if your rear delts are slacking. The best way to prevent injury is to never do something which you know for a fact you're probably going to get fucking injured on. If you understand what I'm saying. So if you ever get a little bit of a cue in your mind, like, okay, my shoulder feels a little weird, maybe you shouldn't try to do the heaviest weight you've ever done. You know, maybe just back off and do a normal working set. And then obviously, in a bodybuilding context, 1 rep max, get the fuck away from me. Honestly, I mean, you're not going to get big doing a 1 rep max. If you did, then that's all I would fucking do, you know? Let's move on to something else. So common theme, right? Low calorie, smart options. It adds up, man. You could take someone and don't even change the way that they're eating. Don't even tell them to change the amount of foods that they're eating. And just by swapping out, like a soda for a diet soda, buns for the low carb buns, ground beef for the lower, like stuff like that. Just by making those swaps, you could probably put somebody into a solid deficit and they wouldn't even know it. So, you know, don't think that I ever think I know everything when it comes to fucking training. I don't think it's even possible to be a total fucking perfectionist master. But by way of keeping your mind open to new ideas and not getting locked into the fucking same routine day in and day out. You know, keeping your eyes open for new shit and being able to kind of internalize it, understand it, and implement it into your freaking routine, the better, right? So. Oh, fuck. Oh. So I've kind of found with overhead stuff like that for triceps, I kind of like it going a little bit lighter because failure almost like sneaks up on me. Like I did this one machine and you know, it was whole stack, whatever, but it was like this movement, but an actual machine holding a handle, what I would prefer to be using right now. But whatever, you know, 10 reps in, I'm like, okay, I'm not going to do another set of this. You know, I'm going to get 100 reps right now. Then as soon as I hit 15, it's like the fatigue just like smacked me and I could barely even fucking move it from the bottom. So just a different style of stimulus, I guess. You know, not really, you know, reaching a point where I just can't move around a ton of weight anymore. But I'm not doing like really squeezing lighter reps either. Kind of somewhere in between. But whatever, let's do, I think 2 more. It's been a while, so I kind of want to do a lot of this. I lost my my little Beats charger case, so now I'm tethered into the phone. Not ideal. Not ideal. If you haven't switched to wireless, you're behind the curve, man. But I'm feeling extremely, I don't want to just say strong, but honestly, I can tell that my hamstrings are physically bigger right now. Just from doing those warm-up sets. I mean, I can almost feel my calves running into them as if they were already fully pumped. So, I mean, I think by the time that my hamstrings are fully pumped and we move on to, you know, squats or whatever, it's almost going to be like I have knee wraps on. Because when I get to the bottom of the rep, my calves are going to run into my hamstrings and give me some cushioning. Definitely satisfied with this leg day. Effort-wise, definitely satisfied. But also, everything just kind of fucking clicked. Hamstring curls felt sick. Felt super strong in the leg extension. Knees weren't bothered at all. When I did those 2 sets of squats, I think after warming up with leg extensions, my whole fucking system is just primed for going heavy. Because that did not bother my adductors at all. Like these kind of muscles in here, which like squeeze your legs together.
These have kind of been bothering me on heavy squats, but I don't feel it at all when I do leg extensions before the squats. So this is sick, man. I'm definitely going to follow this basic style for the, for at least the rest of the bulk, unless I find out some new shit about some kind of leg press superset or whatever. But I'm telling you, the pump will be different. The reps. So the way I'm going to make this set more, I don't want to say difficult, but let's say intense, is at the top. When I get to this top of the curl, I'm not just going to get up to here and then release the tension. Once I get up to the top of the range of motion, I'm just going to have an extra moment of squeezing, right? You can do the same. I mean, you can apply that same logic with like pec flies, leg extensions, hamstring curls, tricep pushdowns, fucking most squeezing movements. Sure, you do normal reps, but if you get to the top and you have an extra little moment where you squeeze extra hard, I'm telling you, the pump will be different. So let's just hit this shit while I still have time. This post down turning into a whole rant, but if I consolidate it all into one simple statement, just try to improve over time and don't be too jumpy to try, don't just uproot your whole routine every week. You're not gonna make progress like that. If you pick a split, or if you pick a style of lifting, sets, reps, weights, progressive overload, whatever, stick with it for a couple of months at least. Just by lifting in general, even if you're doing a split that's kind of goofy, you'll build training experience. But always try to fucking improve, man. I'm trying to improve my training every fucking day of every day. That's kind of a stupid way to say it. Let's go spam side laterals. I've been talking for way too long. Okay. Oh. So with the partials, I mean, I kind of have to know when to call the set, because I could probably sit there and do 10 more little, barely moving reps. Unless I'm doing a movement like those heavy dumbbell curls where I can hit legit failure, and I know there's probably a 90% chance I'm not going to get one more. Other than that, with these movements where you can do a lot of partials, it's kind of up to you to be able to know how hard to push yourself. Because I could definitely see somebody doing a set of that speed or whatever and hit 10 reps, and their the range of motion starts to go down a little bit, and then they think to themselves, okay, that was enough, we're done. Even though they could have got that extra, I don't know how many partials, but I definitely think that did some extra damage and contributed to a crazier pump than if I were to have just dropped the weight at rep number 10. What's really important with the cardio is just raising your heart rate above baseline by a considerable degree. I mean, you want to be in at least the maybe low to mid hundreds, and then just do whatever you're doing to get your heart rate that high for fucking 20-30 minutes, right? So when you say oh, I played basketball after I lift and I break a sweat, or I do soccer, that's fucking cardio. You don't have to just sit on the bike. But I think, well, actually, I know that if on a daily basis, right, you raise your fucking heart rate up for a reasonable amount of time, maybe I say 20, I probably really mean more like 30 minutes, then I think it's going to be fucking good for you. Better metabolism. You're not going to get so gassed because your cardio is just going to be better from doing it. Right? So that's really the part which kind of translates to better gains for me, the better metabolism, the better cardio.